where I take a look at a different Kickstarter tabletop game project every weekday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give my honest thoughts on how that project is being ran. And today, I am excited to be checking out the 11th most popular project on Kickstarter games right now. This was fan requested, but I'm not going to pat myself in the back too hard because I actually already had it scheduled and just bumped it up a day. But that's Suriya, The Last Horizon. I chose to cover this one because apparently it had a great pre-launch image. I'm looking at it right now. I like some things. I don't like some things about the main image. First and foremost, this is way too small. You always need to remember this. I say it every single day. Don't ever think about anything on your main image without thinking about how small it's going to look when someone's looking at it right here. Because I can't see, I think that's 1 to 4. 14 plus 60 to 120, but just make that a little bit bigger because we had tons of space there. Just a little thing I would 100% do. Same with this as well. The early bird and the 72-hour Kickstarter. I feel like those should be larger, right? Those are awesome things to announce, and they're a smidge bit hard to read. Just make them a little bigger. You got a lot of black space there. As for these, they kind of blend in with the backdrop. Are those miniatures? Are those I can't really see what those are. Oh yeah, those are big minis, but they don't pop at all with that black background. I would almost, yeah, I feel like a white background and zooming in would really do a lot for this. Like we got some wasted space in the middle here. I like the fact you're mentioning it's an asymmetric deck building war game. I love all that. I love the fact you're telling me the player like the time count the age. I love the fact it's a regular box, and I think miniatures, but yeah, we got to zoom in on those in some way, shape, or form, because once I actually see this and see, oh, these are huge minis with like a big chunky pieces underneath them, I'm way more excited. But it's really hard to see that just from the outside. When the suns fade, the greatest war begins. An asymmetric deck-building war game that easy to learn and deeply strategic. All right, easy to learn and deeply strategic. I like that. Bangkok, Thailand. That's an interesting one. You don't see that too often. It's 449% funded. It's going to happen from Hexa House. I would. So I'm trying to think of what else I'd put here. I don't know yet. It's good information. Main image's fine. I think I just zoom in. Yeah. Oh, because once you zoom in a little bit, I can. Yeah, I think this is a poor choice. I think this is a really poor choice here. So what they're trying to show us is that there's 4 different factions, and each one of these factions has different colors and different minis. But it's like this little picture right here of this purple squad is already zoomed out, and then we zoom out even more. And even when I'm looking at the big image here, it's really hard to even tell what this is. Like this to me just looks like one mini almost with like stuff on it. It's just like a bunch of really intricate things on there. Yeah, not a big fan of that at all. It's just, I don't think you're selling your wares well. But it's already $67,000. As always with the video, I'm thinking 3 things. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? Convince Kickstarter backers of that, and you'll get their money. Let's go. Oh, in 526 minutes. Who cares? Like, I'm sure there's other information that would be way more important there, but we'll get to it. Stretch goals. Okay, neato skeeto. So I like to do this game where I count seconds. So this is a 153-second video, and you just wasted 5% of my time with your logo. Okay? It's just in my mind. Hopefully you have a banger video, so I don't even care. I don't even think twice about it. But if this video sucks, I'll be like, oh, wow, this is longer than it needed to be. Like, it's just 9, 10, 11. Like, it's just a little thing. Like, it's a little thing. But why? Do you need 11 seconds to just show your name? Like, building brand awareness, but come on. Like, I don't know. Okay, components. It's a box. You know what I love? I love when I can't read text on cards or tiles because it's somewhat dark and foggy in my Kickstarter videos. I prefer theme and ambiance over, ooh, cool, that sounds like a neat ability I want to play with. Okay, we are getting, oh, they are! The little tiny things on top of that? Are those all minis? Is this thing huge? No, I think these are minis that are like the size of the Time of Legends Destinies minis, which, you know, fine. They really, if you have kids, they can really bring out the theme, and it'll cost a lot less money. It gets me excited. I actually really love the look of this board. Honestly, I feel like this looks way better than your main image. If you just zoomed in on that, maybe just a smidge, maybe be like, oh, cool. We got these cool looking tiles, the different things, the different little minis walking around, the cubes and that. Like, this looks interesting. Your box, it's generic space. Like, And it's not hard. Pulsar 2481, whatever it's called, from Vladimir Suki, fantastic game. But generic, space, themeless, garbage, like, it's a great game, but just showcase that. Like, okay, this shot once again. Like, so this is what you were trying to show me, but you zoomed so far out, you lose. Like, that's a fantastic shot right there. I just wish it was brighter so I could see it more. Like, yeah, that makes me dislike the main image way more. Like, because it could look fantastic if you just zoomed in on the stuff you got. It reminds me of those old Xbox 360 games where, like, one of the common complaints was it's too gritty and dark. Like, it's not like, oh, like, dark and mean, but, like, it's just hard to see. It's like, it's... why? People don't want to see the intricate... great-looking minis. I am really hoping this goes to a personal touch and you telling, whoa, that's huge. So is this the mega game? We're going to have the base game and the mega game? Okay, you're teasing me with the deluxeified super large edition. Great. You know, it would be a great place to show me that on the main thing or in the description or on that little banner where you told me it was funded in 26 minutes and I don't give a crap. You could put mega deluxe large edition available where I'm like, okay, let's see what kind of stupid ridiculousness is floating into the Kickstarter world now. But instead, we have funded in 26 minutes. Man, that's neat. That's a great choice. Assuming there is, in fact, a really cool, epic, mega scale-sized one. Like, that's a selling point. That's just getting an eyeballs on your Kickstarter, man. What are those? Love to see those on the main image, right? Like, maybe? And, like, I'm not saying you have to put it on there, but it's just like there's so many other things that could be on there that would better get me more excited about your game than zoom. Personal touch me. That sounded weird. Nope. The opposite of personal touch. Subtitles. Thank you. But we are in Bangkok. Where the city won't know what is it. That's a great song. The chess world. Okay. Game overview. One night in Bangkok. There it was. In Suriya, players take control of different factions, each commanding their own army. The game is won by either something or other. Build all three of your bases. Destroy an opponent's headquarters. Put the microphone in front of your mouth like a noob. Action phase. During your turn, you may take actions in any order as many times until you decide to pass. Cool. Play cards. Pay the required minerals to activate a card effect, such as summoning units. Hey, you know what's extra fun? What's extra fun is when I can't see the details on the cards, the details on the mini, or what's actually happening up at the top because I'm too busy reading down on the bottom because you couldn't just voice over this. You couldn't get somebody on Fiverr. You like, I get the excuse like, oh yeah, they're not from the United States of America, maybe they didn't feel comfortable with the voice. Then Fiverr that stuff. Like there's somebody who do this for $5 to $10 guaranteed who speaks English. It's like, oh yeah, I'll do it. Like, I need to start doing voiceover on Fiverr because it's so easy and people have such low expectations sometimes. And let me tell you, if you come in having low expectations, if you subscribe to this channel, you know I will sometimes exceed your expectations. Ooh, now that player reference card right there gets me excited. Like this, see, there's so much good stuff to showcase. This, honestly, this player reference card, I would rather see that than a lot of other stuff that you have up. Those cards, if you're on mine, this, and cancel attack at the enemy. If you're on a forest, this, turret, this is great. Like, that's what I want to see. Oh, cool, it's a turret. Oh, I can play it over here. It does this thing. I can play it over there. It does that thing. Like, I have a cool player board here. Look, I have a cool plastic player board that holds my corn that I'm going to roll, my fancy dice, and this. Why can't you showcase me the player board? Why don't I see the player area set up with some miniatures? Why did we choose to show everything? It's just such an odd and poor choice for what should be such an appealing and desirable show window. Like, and it's just... Sorry, I stopped reading because and this is what's happened. I stopped reading because I want to look at what's on top. Convert cards from your hand into minerals at a 1-to-1 ratio. Wow, we're going into the weeds here. Use a command token to move one of your squads to another space. Use a command token to order a squad to gather minerals from their current location. So I read fast. I just read that there is 0% chance that I'm going to be able to see what's going on top and read on the bottom. Like, I'm going to read this next one as fast as humanly possible, and then I'm going to try and look up top to see if I can enjoy it. I'm going to take a drink of my terrible coffee. Reading mode initiated. Use a command token to attack an adjacent enemy squad. Both players roll dice based on their unit types and numbers. Alright, so I rolled dice, and there's fancy dice, and something's moving, and, okay, they're rolling. Nope, missed it, and now we're on to the next one, and now I'm not going to be able to catch up to it because I'm still looking at the top. This is terrible. 2/3 of a point grade bump down for just main image and video combined. Like, it's just... I don't want to sound like a shill, but if you check on the Fiverr link down below, I have a pre-launch Kickstarter critique where I will do a Kickstarter critique just for you. Months, weeks, days in advance, and people seem to like them. They're highly rated. And little things like this, I would be like, hey, you need to slow those down. I would put an extra 2 seconds here or do something, or hell, I'll voice over it. Venmo me $50 or something. Like, just letting them know that this is... It's not as good as you're hoping it is, and it's an easy fix, right? It's an easy fix to slow something down or tweak something here. It's just you need to probably know that, and it's why. And honestly, this video, I'm going to be very blunt here. This video scares me about how much they blind play tested this game in the rule booklet. So I hope the rule booklet crushes it. But I figured you blind play test your video, right? You show it to people, and they say, "Yeah, it's a bit fast. That part's a bit fast," right? Like, right? You show it to people, right? Use command token to attack an adjacent income phase. Once you finish taking an action, your turn proceeds to the income phase, which consists of 2 steps. Choose 1 card from either your faction, technology, or the central card pool and place it into your discard pile. So when I could have looked at those 3 fun cards and saw them, now I'm now looking up. I can't read any of them, but I do see this card. I can't read it in time, though. Claim minerals and cards. I'm done. Honestly... if you just that would probably be a better main image. Almost. I gotta... Okay. After the video, do I want it? Yeah, I do. That looks fun. I really like the looks of that game, and the fact that it's a war game, but it looks more like a board game. Count me in. Asymmetric, deck building, those are 2 of my absolute favorites. Top 4 or 5 mechanisms, period. Player elimination, social deduction, semi-cooperative. You know, I think those are my 5 right there. Maybe worker placement squeezes in there. So yeah, this is my bread and butter. Game looks great. I want to play it. After the video, yeah, do I want it? Can you do it? Don't know. This is a big project. Let's not get it twisted. This is a big project. If you're a first timer, I'm going to be a little bit more concerned than if you've done this before. So hopefully we'll find that out in a second. How much is it? Don't know at all, but I'm expecting very expensive. And I wasn't necessarily expecting very expensive when I looked at the main image, which is, it's just something, you know, you like to set people up. You show that big old box and like, okay, we're looking at 100 plus, $200 maybe. Hexa House, they have done their stuff. Great. Well, here's what you do then. Instead of just spending 11 seconds on your video with just your name, why don't you say from the creators of this? Even if I don't know those games, it still is like, okay, credibility. Because any Joe Schmo can put up a stupid logo at the front. First timers or 40 games in, it doesn't matter. Show me something there. Come on, Vanguard. Hexa House is a board game publisher in Singapore, Thailand. We're a group of people who have passion to play. We focus on continuing to develop miniatures board games. Okay. So yeah, from the creators of Barbaric, Victim, The Cursed Forest. Yeah, like that. Boom. Immediate credibility right from the jump. Especially if you show me, for instance, this. It's like, oh, not only is there credibility that you've made other games, there's credibility that you've made other miniatures games. And that's what I'm talking about with that Fiverr. That's a suggestion I give to you, and you're like, oh yeah, let's just throw that in there. You throw this image with some minis, and all of a sudden your customer immediately knows that you've made other games, and you've made other games with minis, and yeah, we can do this. This looks crazy, this looks mega, this looks epic and big, but I know you could do it because this is your 3rd minis game, but instead, I have to find that out here, or hopefully on your page. Hopefully you mention it on your page, but I'm going to guess these are pretty low rated, which means they might not mention them. I'm just shot in the dark here. Anytime you're talking about a minis game company, and anytime you're talking about a company from outside the United States of America, English rule booklets, both those tend to be bad, and when you have both of those mushed together, that's when you have the peak. Terrible rule booklets. Hopefully they dodge that. Let's check out the comments, and we'll know pretty quickly. All right. I've not heard of either of these games, though. Cool art style. I'm not an art fan. Who do we contact regarding damaged components? Please send the picture of damaged components to this. Hi, some concerns with the board being moldy and also the extra 12 monster promo cards. There's a lack of 9 card sleeves to use those. Am I missing some stuff? Ew, moldy board. Could you please send us a photo? Ooh. That's not good. I'd love to know who they manufactured through. As someone who used to work for Hero Time Manufacturing, that's very bad. That's not good. I'd love to just have the dirt on which company's doing that. I still have not received my game yet. I live in the U.S. What do I need to get my pledge? 18 days ago. Hey, mate, I find Hexa House to be a very reasonable, respectable company. They've been using nothing short of courteous and considerate during my interaction with them. They have a bit going on with their new game coming out soon while promoting their other games, but I'm sure they will get back to you eventually. Try their email and see if that helps. Super Packers are amazing. Doing Hex's job for them, but actually popped in there as well. I wonder if, I bet you Strange Tamer messaged them. Hey, mate, I find Hex House to be a very reasonable, respectable company. They've been nothing short of... Interesting. Strange Tamer 86. If Strange Tamer 86 is in Victim, the Cursed Forest, I have questions. Just shot in the dark. It's weird sometimes when you see someone that loyal for no particular reason. Hey, I've emailed about getting replacement parts about a month and a half ago, and I'm just looking for an update. I've asked in the email to no response. So, yeah, we're not getting great customer service here, but let's see. Is this thousands and thousands of people? It is. It's 1,281. Okay. Hey, I've updated. Is there a place where you can order the upgrades? Is the Mad and other expansions? Hey, I've been speaking with people from Aetherwoods regarding myself receiving unpainted versions of game boxes. I have sorted out the problem for all boxes except the core. After the Apocalypse box, I was told to get in contact with the publishers to sort this issue out. Okay. Do you have a Discord? I have questions about rules. We played the Lost Jungle. Second questions. Still haven't received my game yet. Yeah, this is a lot. How far do we go down here before people aren't complaining and they're just excited about the game? Is this the rules? Ooh, no. So we're going to get to a flood of rules questions. God, why do I have to be right so often? Miniatures companies and companies from outside the United States of America, like the rule booklet's generally poor, and when you have both, it's scary. Finally received it in France. It's gorgeous and much bigger than I was expecting at the time. Yep, but what's the next part? Only regret it. It's a shame it took so long. It was going on holidays. Okay, so it took a while. Whatevs. Hey, is there an up-to-date components list? It's one in the rule booklet seems to be outdated. Oh, man. Oh, Soren K. Oh, I'm sure that if you're a Kickstarter gamer, that is the worst. That is the worst. When you're like, what's this? This isn't in here. Do I need to look into different... Oh, man. I only received a copy of the Asylum version over 1 year ago. Great response time. Can someone send me a gameplay link for this game, please? Thank you. Trash rules. Finally got around to playing the game. The rule book, terrible. Anybody know a good playthrough showing how to play other than Meeple University? I think we dug up one on BoardGames.com. We also gave the team one more turn before the monster's revealed. Otherwise, the monster is almost unbeatable. Oh, yeah, that's always fun. Similar problems. Okay, we get it. We get it. So, was that, oh, that was Victim. That wasn't even Barbaric. Oh, God. Do I have to look at yeah, I gotta do due diligence. Okay. Oh, no. Okay, so that was with the last project. Oh, that was the last project. Oh, so that was their second project, which in theory should be the one where you're ironing out the kinks and you have less issues, which makes me wonder how the first game went, because they just jumped right straight into a miniatures game. And they raised $200,000. They had 1,900 backers, 1,400 comments. That's probably not good. I only received a copy. Can someone send me a game? Oh, this is okay. So we did look at both of them. So that's just bad. That was bad on both. That was just a horrible, god awful comment section that makes me totally scared for the rules. So immediately, before we get into anything, the first thing I would tell you is make sure you read the rule booklet that is hopefully going to be down here. And if it's not, that is an immediate kiss of death F for me on this, on whether or not you probably should give it your money. Just unless you like slogging through very bad rule booklets. But hopefully there is a rule booklet. Boom, how to play, read the rules, fantastic, disregard that. Please note that the project uses Singapore dollars. Cool. It's approximately 75 cents. Why is that text so small? Bump it up, man. Bump up all this text. That's great to know, though. That's a really useful thing to mention from the jump. I love that. Third of a point grade bump up, honestly. That is really... That's so dang useful. I don't need it necessarily, but it's really nice. Okay. Maybe that's too much, but I'm feeling bad because This game looks cool, and I want to love it. Save $77. Okay, so we got an expensive price if I'm saving $77. Because when I looked at the box on the main image, I honestly thought, hey, maybe I'd get out of here with 80, 90 bucks. But if I'm saving $77, and then there's probably not going to be 80, 90 bucks. Okay, 190 miniatures, more from daily unlocks. Okay, SG box. So I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 box. Does this mean there's 7 factions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. $219. Well, now we come back to the fact that I thought your video wasn't very good. And while I do like your game, knowing that your rule booklets were very bad in the past, I'm just very concerned. Like, it's hard to go forward with a blind, with knowing what I saw, but we're going to try. 5-minute setup. Wow! Holy crap! That should be in your video. That should be on your main image. That should be on your main image with this also showing it's a 60 to 120 minute. Like, these are, why is this not here? 5 to 10 minute setup and 10 minute learn. Now, I don't believe you, but still, if that's what you're honestly touting, shout that from the rooftops, just like Gray Fox Games did with Last Light. Epic 4x 90 minutes or 69 minutes or whatever it was. They shout it from the rooftops. 5-minute setup, 10 minutes to learn. Fantastic. I put that on the box. I put that on the main image. I put that on the description somewhere. That needs to be on the outside. This is a big epic space game. Jesus, a $200 game that you can set up in 5 minutes and learn in 10. Those words scare me. Build all your bases, but then again, no it doesn't, because I imagine most of it is text on cards. It's an asymmetric deck builder. Read the text on the card. RTFC. Those are my favorite types of games, you know? Comboing stuff, getting crazy combos going if you get the perfect thing. Kickstarter exclusive, be amongst the first. So that was it. Okay, then we have a very brief, like, that feels, oh, this is real. Wow, I'm convinced now. Thank you for this. It's such an odd place to put that. Also, that graphic design makes it look like why Bach now. Just an interesting observation. The Suriya Last Horizon includes 4 unique factions, each with distinct mechanics and playstyles. Build your faction with this and things, stuff. Cool. People. Great. Hopefully we zoom in on theirs. There it is. There's the zoomed in on. Those look gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Those look fantastic. Now we're theming me hard. What do I want? Gameplay rule booklet, I guess. No, actually I think this is fine. You know, if you're trying to sell me $200, I'd probably just lump this all together with that $200 price tag. Because now that I'm seeing it all, what I need here, and hopefully it's coming soon, is that table shot, right? It was in the video where you just saw the huge table with everything set up. And you're just like, oh my God, that's just a ridiculous amount of stuff, of plastic, of cards. Like, hopefully somewhere here it just has like a huge, and these are metal dice. Hopefully it has a list of the cards, player aids, which I did catch a glimpse of those. Those were gorgeous. Those were gorgeous player aid cards. I'd love to see the back of these. Don't hide the backs. Show your backs. Pop those out. Zoetropes expansion. So this is, wow, that's awesome. So these are just, they look like rocket. Okay. Cool. AI art haters are probably going to be all hating on this right now, but at the end of the day, 7 factions right from the jump for $200. But it's a miniatures game. It's Kickstarter reasonable. So this is the core pledge, 119 bucks. See, and this is why I hate having your prices separated from your components. Because I saw, you just vomited it. Which I added an extra ED, yeah. Not in real life. Except for the dog. I don't want to go there. All those components, you showed me everything. But there was 3 or 4 expansion boxes you mixed in there too. It's just, that's why it's so nice when you combine them. Like, okay, here's the $119 version. How many minis are here? How many cards are here? I know there's 4 factions. I remember it's a lot, but it's just, put them together. All right, so this is the all-in pledge, where you save $67. But how much does it cost? Oh, it's $229. Okay. And it should be, that math is off. 229 plus 67 equals 296. Is that a 9? No, I think that's an 8. Okay, so they're $10 off. Sorry. Don't hate me because I love math. Party pledge. It's not a big deal. It just looks unprofessional. So this one, I'm saving. So the MSRP is $1,776. So I could buy me and my 5 friends this. And I don't have a problem with this, honestly, because you hear this and you're like, this is so stupid, but you have to realize this is for people where shipping is going to be weird and wonky, and if you can combine 5 people, in theory, you're going to save a bunch on shipping there. So I don't hate it. Add-on. So let's check out these play levels, see what people are taking. I imagine it's going to be the one with everything. Oh, featured. Look at that. Look at this, the fancy stuff. 212. Okay. Just core box 9. Yeah, nobody wants that. You didn't sell it very well either. All-in pledge. Wait. So is this the early bird all-in pledge? Ah, I see. I see. And then this is the regular one, which.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Uh-oh. Oh, with that, never mind. This is an Alexa that's already unplugged. Shut up, Alexa. 17, sorry, now, oh my gosh, I probably just made ruckus at your house. I'm sorry. So 17 on the all-in pledge. That's always weird when you see that. Like, why is that number so large? Like, I would love to see who these people are. Like that feels like shill backers. Like, why wouldn't you take the early bird if it's the same thing? Like, 17 people were just like, nah, I want extra money. It's just so odd when I see stuff like that. All right, so the early bird's got 200. It's got to get funded. It's going to happen. Not a great number, but hopefully that'll grow. I mean, obviously it will grow. So we do have, is it 3 expansions or 2? So just how many factions are there? I feel like you should really slap me in the face with that very clearly in that. 6, is it 6 factions? Is it 7 factions? 1 copy, a dice tray. So it's 6 factions. Or maybe it's more, because we also have somewhere in here daily unlocks, which probably should be way higher, I think. Get me excited. This just feels really weirdly organized. So this is the Shadow Shading Edition. $49. We will be accepting made-to-order requests from our painting team. Wow. Okay. 100 limited painted all-in editions. So $429. Is this sold out? Is this a pledge? Is this just an add-on? Because it's not sold out. Okay. So these are add-ons. Okay. It's interesting. Whatever. I would spotlight that a little bit higher. Just look at the relative position of that on the page. You obviously want to sell that, I would imagine, if you're going to print 100 of those custom. Because the thing is, and here's the thing, I don't understand the logic in this. If you're going to 100, like if you get to 100, you could be like, well, we hit 100 in a week, so we decided to open this up a little bit, so we're going to go to 200, 300. Like, why not? Because then in theory, the cost is going to go down, you're going to manufacture more, and you're going to make more money. But the only way that's going to happen is if you actually feature it as a pledge level, and if you actually spotlight it in some way, shape, or form. It's buried. Like, look, we are 64-ish% of the way down the page. I wonder if that's a widget, so you can actually see. If anybody knows a widget that shows you exactly how far you're down on a page, I would love the name of that. That seems really useful. Don't miss your chance to own an exclusive edition, only 100 sets available. I guess they're trying to make it fancy. I don't know. Maybe they have that there in case the number. I don't know. My mind immediately goes to like shady stuff where it's like by having this pledge, you can essentially explain away if your numbers look really screwed up. People are like, why does it look like we have an extra $45,000 or something? Be like, oh, well, that's because it's an add-on that you can't see in the back end with 100. You know, it can explain away some math fudging, which I don't want to assume they're doing that, but otherwise it just feels like, why not make 100 as a pledge? And if it sells out, you bump it like, oh, now we're going to, an extra 100 or something. So like, you clearly appear like you like making money. So I would love to hear the downside to making more than 100, aside from, oh, it's less prestigious or something, in which case you just tell the Kickstarter backers, hey, as a reward, we're gonna throw in something extra. Like, you get, I don't know. You could just. So an 11-page rule booklet for a $200 game from a company that has a reputation of terrible rule booklets. Like, I immediately am concerned, as someone who has a Fiverr where I tear apart your rule booklet for you, nearly 5 stars across the board, by the way, I would rip you a new one for this rule booklet immediately. I don't need this one entire page to be wasted. If this is going to be a mega epic like game. Like this is 2 of the 11 pages completely unused right here. That's concerning. Components, okay, fine, good. Still, game setup, great. That looks great. This is still game setup. So there's only 6 pages of rules, of actual rules, and they're formatted like a war game. Oh, it's scary. Yeah, and then the back page. Where are the rules? This, yeah, I would read through that with a fine tooth comb, watch how to play. So that's the how to play. Okay. You remember when you told me it was 10 minutes to teach the game? If it's 10 minutes to teach the game, my eyebrow raises like The Rock, but not as high because I'm not that talented, when your how to play video is 22 minutes. Just saying. That feels counterintuitive to what you said, but granted, love this video, hate the fact it's buried down here. This feels like it needs to be very close to that $200 price tag that you slapped me in the face with, and it doesn't feel good, but I want your game.
Unit. This unit must be constructed at our headquarters, which serves as our primary starting base. At the beginning of the game, we can only so you can choose to remove 1 basic unit. However, if they take 2 damage, you must remove an elite unit.
Okay, this
remove
looks solid.
2 basic units.
That looks solid. I love, yeah, like that video, I think that just needs to be higher, period. Like those, because your video wasn't it. Like your main video wasn't, I don't think it's going to knock the door down for you, especially on a $200 price point. So what do we got? Preview, gameplay, I just want the playthrough. Cool, gameplay. 32 minutes, I thought it was 60 to 90 minutes. Through, what's the rest of the title? Is this just a couple rounds or something? Playthrough. So it's a 60 to 90 minute game that takes 10 minutes to learn. There's a playthrough video that is 30 minutes. There's a playthrough video which is 32 minutes, which makes me wonder if they sell 30 minutes, like 30 minutes is the minimum of the video. Like, there's so many things. There's so many things setting off my game reviewer and previewer spidey senses about this game. I would 100% read that rule booklet with a fine-tooth tone and watch those videos intently if you're going to splunk this money down. And we're about to go to Board Game Geek in a second because they have not done one thing which you would want to do if you were trying to convince me to buy your game, and that's to spotlight the fact that you can do this because you have done this before with 2 other minis games, and they have not done that in any way, shape, or form, which makes me scared. That's because they don't want you to know about the other 2 games for reasons. Like, otherwise, that's something to mention. Unlock more languages. We will provide the rule booklet in German and French as a PDF downloaded. If you want to see Suriya language, help us reach. Cool. So stretch goals, make them clickable. Clickable. When you make them clickable, I'll give you a heart. Bam. You got yourself a heart because you made it clickable. Easy peasy. 500. Jesus, that's not happening. All right, I'm taking it back. I don't want updates on this. Nope, I won't take it back. It's there. What's done is done, but I am going to click on there because we're going to go back later. Ooh, I do like the back of that card. Funding stretch goals, 20,000. So this should 100% be way higher. Why is this buried so far down? Why are so many good things buried so far down? But luckily, you let me know you were funded in 26 minutes, right? Includes a 20-card human autonomous deck to control the human factions and AI opponent. So is this the first time that I've heard this is 1 to 4 players and not 2 to 4 players? No, okay, good. I did hear about it. But this, oh, you did mention other stuff. Holy crap, it's just all the way buried. Like, why is this all so far down? Do you believe that people are going to scroll through this like I am and look at every single tiny detail of your Kickstarter page? There are 200 Kickstarter games right now live. Not like stupid GameFound stuff where you can buy it after the fact. No, live right now. And you're burying some of your most valuable information people want to know in order to make an informed decision about whether or not they should give you money. And it's just, eeks. When we hit 70,000, we'll randomly give away 1 set to 1 lucky backer after the campaign ends. That's neat. I don't think you're allowed to do that. I think contests were banned. Not that I'm going to be a narc, and none of you, don't do it. Don't do it. Come on, be cool. You be cool with that. Oh, cool. Solo Scarab Autonomous includes a 20 Scarab Autonomous deck to control the Scarab faction. That's amazing. Yeah, I want that. Yeah, because and now I imagine there's going to be other autonomous decks that I'd like to unlock. $50,000. Yeah, I guess it is man. And then the hidden one, because you don't want to put the card too far in front of the horse. Yikes. But luckily, these are stretch goals. We still have unlocks. We just haven't hit them. We haven't shown them. You said there were unlocks. You specifically mentioned unlocks earlier. You did not say stretch goals, because I am a big stickler on stretch goals versus unlocks. They're different, Awakened Realms. Stop teaching people they're not on GameFound. It's wrong. They're different things. They're different words. Okay, so there are daily unlocks, but we wanted to put them all the way down at the bottom, so you wouldn't be excited about them in any way, shape, or form. But not only do we want to make sure you're not excited about these daily unlocks, we're going to make you so not excited about them because we're going to hide them. Not only are we going to hide them at the bottom, because anybody could hide useful information down at the bottom, but we're going to do, you look on this left side here, is we're not even going to mention on the side that there are updates, because as you can see, we went from funding stretch goals to shipping. So we're not even going to mention on the side that there's unlocks, which annoys me even more because you mentioned the unlocks higher, so I was looking for them. So if I just naturally scrolled down to look for them, I would be annoyed because they're not even on the side here because you just decided not to put them there. Why? And that's like, okay, so if you forgot to do it, maybe they just forgot to do it, Bauer. Well, you know what? That's why you put it on top. So even if you forget to do it, people still see it because most likely they're still just going to be looking at stuff on top. Like, God, it's just poor decision after poor decision. That's inexplicable. God, I wish I had a time machine. So just send this video a week ago, be like, hey, maybe do this, maybe do that. There's just so many little things that just 26 and 42. Yeah, it's fine. The amount of plastic I'm getting, I'd show the weight here if you have any idea. I imagine you do, but yeah, that seems very reasonable. So, core box. Oh yeah, I'm not buying that. Oh, actually, core box at 104. Man. Okay, my Kickstarter reasonable goes for the all-in and not the core box. They have done their job of making the core box completely unappealing to absolutely everyone with the price, how they sold it, just everything about it. So yeah, that's why we have 9. Then estimated all-in is 17, but then the early birds. So the early bird is 212, right? Wait, what? Where was the early bird? What's the feature? Yeah, 214. Okay. Showcasing, like, why is this so low? Like, this once again is helpful with the can you do it? Well, we took it to conventions. We showed it off to people. Here's it in the wild. Like, here's it. Like, that's, look how big that is. You can really see how big it is. Like, that's a great picture. And it's just, I thought they were going to go to a personal touch in that video, and I think the decision to go to a personal touch was just such an absolutely atrocious decision. Instead, you're just going to give me subtitles that are too fast, showcasing presumably what you're showing me on the top of the image, which I can't even see because I'm trying to read down at the bottom. And instead, you could have just had a personal touch where, you know, we've been working on this game, we've taken it to conventions, you can see how gorgeous and how huge it is. You know, the all-in is going to have 6 different factions. We got these autonomous plans, we got stretch goals and unlocks. You know, you could have just use that minute to just so much better. And and a great video can cancel out a lot of times a poor Kickstarter story, and instead it's just 2 dominoes hitting each other there. And look at Jiminy Christmas, so many people on this project. Lim Yu Pang. Lim. Lim. Winner, Thailand Board Game Awards. Thailand, what? Okay, why is this buried? This is exactly what I said when they had their stupid 11-second intro with just their name. Put this, just this picture, and this picture down below, because there was so much space on that effing screen. Full point grade bump down. Like, yeah, right there. Just to the left and to the right. Creators of this and that. Show me you can do miniatures game and show me you can do them well, and you chose not to until the very last minute. I see your faces before I see how good your games are? Why? That was such an unsatisfying Kickstarter story. I need a cigarette. Why is the goal only $20,000? We previously opened pre-orders in Thailand from August 2024 to December, which raised over 100,000 from Thai supporters alone because of the incredible support related to modest goal. If I'm interested in this project, what should I do? Back it. Duh. Okay, so I would organize these like Reload for Colossal Games. Is the pricing realistic for production and delivery? Absolutely. Okay. That's a weird one. 3-4 and 0-6. So not very engaging updates. How many days are we into this? We are... Oh, first day. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully they see this. I swear, I just feel like some tweaks. Just put your fun stuff up top. Like, here's what I'm saying. If you feel like it's exciting enough to literally notify every single one of your backers by an email, by sending an update, why wouldn't you put it at the top of the page to let every single person who comes into your Kickstarter page see it, instead of down at the bottom? Yikes. And I would be careful of those contests there. I'm not sure about that one. Congrats, Hexa House. I'm glad to see that we're off to a great start. Bring on the hype train. Strange Tamer 86. Can I look up more about you? Was he in the comments of that first one? We don't have time. I'm annoyed. I want to get out of here. The day one unlock sounds amazing. Can you show off the new box art and the custom insert in the next update? What? Custom insert? Wow. Yeah. Did I scroll past that? That should... Here's the thing. I have very little sympathy for their incompetence with some of this and updating it and just making it look good because of how many people were listed there. That was like 8. And maybe if you say, okay, 4 of them aren't even going to touch anything. Maybe one of them's not going to touch it. That's still 3 people. Like, it's just like, hey, maybe... And everybody, like, everybody's like, this is the order. This looks great. Like, everybody thumbs up this. This is exactly the flow that it's good. Like, I don't know. What stretch goals will be included in the core pledge? At the campaign page, it states that only some of them will be included in the pledge. I hope I can get all stretch goal factions with just core pledges. I can't afford the all-in. You cannot. The core pledge is going to be hot trash. We don't want you to buy that. The solo mode and general update components will be included in the core pledge. Oh! However, the new faction will be exclusive to the all-in pledge. Will there be... And, yeah... Icky, and that's why their $109 pledge is so god-awful. It's already got the other stuff already packaged into it that they just haven't showed to us yet. They're doing the CMON crap. Well, you know what? That gets your hands caught in the cookie jar a lot. We'll see how it works. Now, luckily for them, they have given themselves a get-out-of-jail-free card. You say, what's the get-out-of-jail-free card? By doing daily unlocks and stretch goals, you can easily pivot a stretch goal into an unlock. It's a really smart idea that somebody working for a company who I won't reveal because, you know, it could be considered misleading, told me about one time, and I was like, just blew my mind. I was like, that makes so much sense because everybody likes stretch goals and unlocks for the most part, and stretch goals, when you don't hit them, suck, so you can just pivot it over to an unlock. Yeah, very smart. And the great thing about doing that and doing the blind unlocks as well is you can essentially give yourself an adrenaline shot, just say mid-campaign, like, this unlock's going to be the hugest one yet. We're hoping for a share, but you're getting 4 new minis in this pack. You know, but you've already baked that into the price of the core pledge, but it just makes, you know. So I will say there's plenty of room for them to, you know, figure out, reorganize, tweak. This time we put a much stronger focus on quality control. We've hired a dedicated proofreading team working alongside grammar checking software to minimize human error and ensure a higher level of accuracy. Okay, here we go. I want to read this whole thing. As a backer of Barbaric, will the production issues of this campaign be avoided with this? The English version of the game still had a lot of grammar and spelling errors, as well as the art being incredibly dark on the board and cards. That is just their calling card is too dark and too tiny. As for Barbaric, I guess that one was just mine. That was the text, by the way. It wasn't anything more than that. As for Barbaric, we're planning to fix the issues in the next production run, and we'll send corrected components to all backers. Please stay tuned for updates on the yeah, whatever. I'll believe that when I see that. My only issue is that zoantropes and voidborn units just don't fit the setting. I hope to play kind of start. Who cares? Sorry, I forgot. Looks amazing like a Barbaric. A super cool game. I have a question that Central Corp. So here's my thing. They have those awards, which are great. I'm curious to see the BGG ratings. Because that's awesome if you had the best game that came out in Thailand in whatever year. But if I am playing the English version of that with god-awful rules, I don't get that experience, right? I'm not getting that 8.4 experience. I'm getting a 4.2 experience because I don't know what the hell's going on. 12,000, 13,000. Ooh, no. Yesterday I told you how I am always concerned when you put art before gameplay. And I talked about the 8,000 to 12,000 range on Board Game Geek. That's typically that's where you start getting more misses than hits. Once you get past 12,000, that's generally where people are like, yeah, that game was pretty trash for one reason or the other. Generally. And your first two games being rated 12,000 and 13,000 once again goes to what I said a little bit earlier, which is now I wonder if that's why they specifically chose to put that so incredibly far down. But still, at the end of the day, I think you have to realize the majority of people backing this are from the United States of America. And one thing about us, not everybody, but overall, we are very lazy. If you just showed me that you have made these two games and showed me those awards, I will blind faith be like, yes, more hyped about your game. But instead, you bury it at the bottom. You make me do my own research. I get to do my own research, and then I'm like, ew, yeah, maybe not. Yeah. Final grade. Do I want it? I do. At the end of the day, it still looks like a lot of fun. I love asymmetric deck building, 6 factions or 7, not quite sure. Love the components. Love the little Title Legends, Destinies, minis, all the colors. I want to play this game. I want to believe. I want someone from Thailand to teach me this game so I don't have to read the English rules. That's what I want. Can you do it? No. I don't feel comfortable with that in any way, shape, or form unless you speak whatever language they speak in Thailand. I want to say Thai, but I'm not sure. I don't think that's the case. Yeah, just I don't like your track record is bad, and what you've shown me on this Kickstarter page just doesn't make me feel any more comfortable at all. Like it was just just nothing. No. Can you do it? I don't feel comfortable with it being good. But with it coming out, yeah, I'm not worried about that. They got $68,000. This'll come out. Might be delayed. You're from certain countries, yeah, you might be waiting here forever. But yeah, I'm not particularly worried about that particular aspect of it. But being good, no. Can you do it? I don't feel convinced about that at all. Then how much is it? The core box feels terrible, god awful terrible. Don't want to touch it. Burn it with a stick. Die. And then the deluxe pledge feels Kickstarter reasonable, but only because you have so many miniatures. It's a 4-player asymmetric big epic space 4X game that's 5 minutes to set up and 10 minutes to play. Even though I totally call bullcrap on that because of your videos, which once again to why this is going to be a poor grade. Just the whole organization of the page, the things you chose to spotlight and not spotlight and then bury or not bury just feels like so many poor choice after poor choice after poor choice, and they just all add up to just not excitement and me wanting to like this game and play this game and back this game at the end of the day saying I don't feel comfortable dropping $240 on this, and I sure as hell I'm not going to give you $140 for the whatever core one that if we don't start hitting stretch goals or if you throw them in the unlocks is going to be, it's just, yeah. And it's unfortunate because I feel like everything they need is here to a certain degree. They don't have people setting fire in their comment section or anything like that. Like they have everything they could have, and it's just hopefully they could turn it around. But still, at the end of the day, they raised $68,000 day one. That's a heck of a first day. Final grade is a D. You can talk me into a D plus or a D minus, either way. But yeah, overall. Here's the thing. I think that could easily be a B. I think just a couple tweaks here and there. The end of that video in particular, just a lot of stuff, a lot of little things. I'm going to go with the D. Let me know in the comments what's your final grade for Suriya. And if you ever want to see a Kickstarter critique done, be sure to post in the comments down below, and I will try to get that one up for you. And if you enjoy Kickstarter content, please be sure to click on the subscribe button. I'm trying to reach 40,000 subscribers before I turn 40 next year. Have a good one, and bye-bye.